So third type of the partial fraction is, we have this one. Last time I explained that what is the factorizable and non-factorizable factors. Just I will revise. Suppose the first one is over here. I have the first one is x square minus x minus 2. And on the other side, we have x square minus x plus 2. So in the first example, if I make the factors of 2, when you subtract, the answer is 1. So I will make it this one, x square minus 2x plus x minus 2. X is taken as common for midterm breaking or for make the factors. So x minus 2 over here plus 1 is taken as common, x minus 2. At the end, I will get the 2 factor. The first factor is x minus 2. The second factor is x plus 1. And when I multiply, again, I will get this polynomial. But in the second case, there are no factors of 2 when you add, when you multiply, the answer is 2. And when you add, the answer is 1. So the first one, if you have this one by mistake, x square minus 2x plus x, then it will be wrong. How? X is taken as common, x minus 2, and plus 1 is taken as common, x plus 2. No, the factors are not possible because the terms within the brackets are different. So that is called non-factorizable. Non-factorizable. But in the first case, that is called factorizable. Now, another example is, if we have x square minus 4, and we know that whenever we have the two squares and there are minus sign between these two squares, then you have to use this formula, x square minus 2 square, and to make the factors, you have to use this formula. I'm changing the color. So you have this one, the a square minus b square is equal to the a minus b into a plus 1. So I have this one is x minus 2 and x plus 2. So again, this term is called factorizable, 2 squares minus 4. So that is called factorizable. But again, if you have the plus sign between any two squares, then it is called non-factorizable, because there is no formula, there is no method to make the factors of this expression. So that is the basic concept of the type number 3. Now I will start the type number 3 over here. Type 3 of partial fraction. First, I will write the condition of this partial fraction. What is the condition? If denominator contains at least one non-factorizable quadratic factor. Non-factorizable quadratic factor. Quadratic factor. So all those fractions in which the denominator is existing, the terms of x, and one factor is non-factorizable. What are the examples over here? So the first example is just like this one, 3x plus 2 divided by x minus 1 and x square plus 2. So the first factor is called the linear factor, and the second factor is x square plus 2. That is called non-factorizable quadratic factor. Second example, you have to consider 4x plus 5 divided by x into x square plus 9. Again, the first factor is linear, the simple x, and the second factor is x square plus 9. That is non-factorizable. So that is the condition of the type 3 partial fraction. Now, what's the method? How you will factorize, how you will decompose, or how you will split this fraction into two or more fractions method. The first step is write number of required fractions according to the number of factors in denominator. According to number of factors in denominators. That is the first step. The same step you have in type 1, the same step you have in type 2, the same step you have in type 4. So the second step is, that is the first step. Now the second step is the numerator of linear factor, the numerator of linear denominator, linear factor will be a constant. Whereas the numerator of non-factorizable quadratic factor will be linear polynomial. I will explain these two things. To find unknown numerator of linear factor, use type 1 method. Okay. And the fourth and the last step is to find the unknown of numerator of quadratic factor. I'm writing over here step number 4. Just I will erase the things. I'm using the red marker. Step number 4, that is a very important step. To find unknown numerator of non-factorizable quadratic factor use comparison of coefficients. I will explain these things. Comparison of coefficients. Okay. I will solve one question and you will get the concept, you will get the steps so that you can apply by yourself. One question I will solve and the rest of the question you have to solve by yourself. Okay. Question number 1. Split or decompose. Split into partial fraction. So the question is 4 plus x over x minus 1 times x square plus 2. Now, this question, first of all, you have to observe, that the denominator is consisting of at least one non-factorizable quadratic factor. So, this means that question belongs to the type 3. So, first of all, we have to make the fractions. How many fractions will we get to solve this one? So, that is equal to b. I will start with the black marker. So, solution will be just like this one. 4 plus x divided by x minus 1 into x square plus 2 is equal to. So in the denominator, there are two brackets or there are two factors. So the first step is write number of required fractions according to the number of factors in denominator. So first of all, we have to observe what is the denominator is. So the denominator is, as we know that the denominator is this expression. That is the denominator. I am highlighting this denominator. Denominator is consisting of two factors. The first factor is x minus 1. The second factor is x squared plus 2. So one factor is non-factorizable quadratic factor, whereas other factor is a simple linear factor. Okay. After solving this one, you have to make the fractions. There are two factors, so you have to make two fractions. First fraction, that always you have to put the plus sign between other fraction. First fraction, you have to write the first factor, as already I explained that all steps you have to apply type 1, type 2 method. And the second factor, you have to write under the second fraction. Now, what will you get? As I said, write number of required fraction. That is a step over here. According to the number of factors, so in denominator, there are two factors and there must be two required fractions. Now I'm reading the second step. What is the second step is? Second step says that the numerator over here, the numerator of linear factor will be a constant. I read over here, the numerator of the linear constant, the numerator of the linear factor will be a constant. So you have to put a over here. What about the second one? The numerator of the factorizable, non-factorizable quadratic factor will be a linear polynomial. What's the meaning of this one? Before starting the numerator, supposing the numerator of the second fraction, I will explain the basic things with the red marker. What's the meaning of the linear? Linear polynomial. A polynomial is called linear polynomial if the power of a variable is 1 and no other power. Just like this one, 4x minus 3. That is the linear polynomial because the highest power of x is 1. The degree of the polynomial is 1. 2 minus 5x. The highest power is 1. Simple x. The highest power of x is 1. So over here, we have linear fractions, linear polynomial over here. And symbolically, to represent the linear polynomial, I have to write symbolically. I have to write ax plus b, or it's your choice. You can write this one as b as a plus bx. It's your choice. So now I will explain. Whenever you have a non-factorizable quadratic factor, so you have to write over here two constant with plus sign. And there you have to put the linear. Either you put x with this one. Sorry, the one thing. Already I have used the a in the first place. So I will not use a in the second place. For this one, I have to use the other two constant. Other two constant are b plus c. But these are the constant. That is not the linear expression. So for this one, you have to put either with cx or with px. So I am writing over here the bx plus c. So that is the very important step. The step number 2, whenever you have a non-factorizable quadratic factor, then you have to write this one. The third step is, again, the third step is, what's the third step? I just read the statement. To find the unknown numerator of linear factor, use type 1 method. What's the meaning of this one? Because first of all, I have to observe you have two fractions. The first fraction having the denominator the linear, the second one the fraction having the denominator non-factorizable. So this factor, first you have to calculate this one. What's the value of a? So if you want to find a, then you have to put x minus 1 equal to 0. But before putting the value, before calculating the value of a, you have to remove the fractions. Because if you put the over here, x is equal to 1 over here, then it becomes undefined because the denominator becomes 0. So first of all, what will you do? You have to remove the fraction. And what the method is, the denominator of the left-hand side, you have to multiply with each term on the right-hand side. So denominator of the left-hand side, you have to multiply with each term on the right-hand side. So what will you do? 4 plus x will remain on this side. So a will multiply by x minus 1 times x square plus 2 divided by x minus 1. Similarly, this denominator on the left-hand side, which is x minus 1 times x square plus 2, you have to multiply by the second fraction. The second fraction having the numerator bx plus c, that you have to put in the first bracket, and other two factors you have to write in the second bracket. So I will get this expression if I'm not wrong. So I must have x square plus 2. If all the factors are cancelled with the denominators, this means your steps are correct. X minus 1 is cancelled with the x minus 1. X squared plus 2 is cancelled with the x squared plus 2. And on the left-hand side, you have simple denominator is 1. So all the denominators you have solved, you have removed. So in this case, your equation becomes, I am writing the equation in terms of, suppose, green color. So 4 plus x is equal to the a times x squared plus 2. And then we have plus bx plus c times x minus 1. Now, this is a very important thing that you have to put in a rectangle so that all the other steps you have to start from here. Now, what will you do? You have to find the value of a over here because you have to find the value of a. What is the a? Is the numerator of x minus 1. So as type 1 and type 2, a, if you want to calculate the value of a, put its denominator equal to 0 and find the value of x. So I will get x minus 1 equal to 0. This implies the value of x is equal to 1. So you have to put the value of x is equal to 1. What will you get in above rectangles equation? So 4 plus 1 is equal to a times 1 square plus 2. Then you have plus b times 1 plus c into 1 minus 1. After doing some practice, you can skip this step and you can solve directly. But up to now, you have to solve this step so that you can understand what is happening. 4 plus 1 becomes 5 is equal to the 8 times 1 square become 1 and 2 will remain as it is plus. Now this terms I am underlining with the double lines. 1 minus 1 becomes 0 and 0 multiplied by this whole bracket becomes 0. So I will get 3a is equal to the 5 and my final answer will be equal to a is equal to the 5 by 3. That is the first unknown. In partial fraction, all unknown you have to find with the help of the two different methods. The first one is by putting the denominator equal to 0 if the factor is linear. And the second method is by comparison of coefficients. Now, to find the other variables, other values of B and C, we have to compare the coefficients of this rectangles equation. I am erasing the things, then you will get the answer. So over here, I have to arrange this equation 4x, that the equation in the rectangle form, I have to arrange, I have to expand so that I can get what should be the answer of this one. Multiply 4 plus x will remain as it is. There will be no change. Is equal to b. When you open the brackets, I will get ax square plus 2a plus bx square minus bx plus cx and minus c. And we have this one. Sorry, beta. We have this one. I have to arrange this thing ax square plus 2a plus bx square minus bx plus cx minus c. Now you have to compare the like terms. On the left hand side, there is no terms of x square. So you have to write 0x square is equal to the, there are two terms of x square, that is ax square plus bx square. That is called the first equation. Then I have the terms of x on the left hand side is simple x, and on the right hand side there are two terms of x minus bx plus c. And the last one is a constant term. On the left hand side the constant term is 4, and the right hand side the constant term is 2a minus c. Now you have to take common. 0x square will as it is. So a plus b and x square is taken as common. Similarly, over here, x square, x is taken as common. I will get minus b plus c into x. And the last term will as it is. As we know that these two terms will be cancelled out, suppose with the help of this one. X square is multiplying, on the other side will divide. X is multiplying, on the side will be divide. So I have the first equation is a plus b equal to 0. These are called the equations of coefficients. The second one is That is 1 is equal to the minus b plus c. And the last one is 2a minus c is equal to 4. Now, the value of a already we have. It's your choice. You want to get the value of b as well as you want to get the value of c. So value of a you have to put over here to get the value of b. Plus b, this becomes, I will get the value of b is minus 5 by 3. That value you have to put either in the second equation to get the value of c, or in third equation to get the value of c. It's your choice. You can select any equation, the answer will remain same. So I have this one is the one as it is. The value of b is minus into minus 5 by 3 plus c. After calculation, you will get 1 minus 5 by 3. Ultimately, you will get the minus 2 by 3. That's the value of C. Your calculations of B, C, and A is finished. But if you want to check that the value of C is correct or not, you can also use the third equation. But that equation is not usable over here. So just you want to try, you want to check that your answer is correct or wrong, use this one. So 2 into A means that is equal to the 5 by 3. Minus c is equal to 4. So it becomes 10 by 3 minus 4 is equal to c. Again, the answer of c will be, use the calculator a lot. 3 4 the 12 minus 2 by 3 if I'm not wrong. In both the question, both the equation, you have the same answer of c. But you have to write, the last step is, because the partial fraction means you have to write, very important thing, how you will write the given expression in a very civilized manner as required by the Cambridge University. Cambridge University says that whenever you are writing the answer must be in a proper form. What is the proper form is, just I will explain. You have to place the values of A as well as B and the value of C. So, no, you have the question, you have to write hence. What will you get? Your question will be 4 plus x divided by x minus 1 times x squared plus 2. After some struggle, some efforts, you have the value of A. The value of A is 5 by 3. So you have to write over here. So these things you have to shift over here. All these things. What will you write? What's the value of A is? The value of A is 5 by 3 divided by x minus 1. What's the value of B? The value of B is, already we have this one, minus 5 by 3. X will remain as it is. Then plus C. What's the value of C is? That is minus 2 by 3. Divided by, you have x squared plus 2. Now, as we know that if you have the two fractions, denominator will multiply by denominator. So that's the denominator 3. You have to multiply by this one. The final answer will be 5 over 3 times x minus 1. And plus, you have to write minus 5x minus 2 divided by taking the LCM of the denominator of the numerators. So you have to get 3 times x squared plus 2. That's the answer. And if you want to write in a most sophisticated manner, minus and minus, these two minus can be taken as common, and this minus becomes the minus of the fraction. Up to now, up to here, the answer is correct. You can write this one as, I'm using the statement, I'm using the word R, 5 over 3 times x minus 1 minus 5x plus 2 over 3 times x squared plus 2. That will be the answer of this given question. Is it clear, beta? Any doubt? Okay. I will solve another question so that you can understand more appropriately the steps once again. I am erasing the whole board so that you can get more in appropriate manner. So, this is the eraser over here. No, I will explain in details. If some step is missing, then try to understand that step. Another example, question is the same type, the type 3, split into partial fraction into partial fraction. That is the statement of the question. What is the question is, I am giving the question by myself, that is 3x minus 2 divided by x plus 2 and x squared plus 3. So that's the question. I have to simplify this one. I have to decompose. I have to rearrange into two fractions or more than two fractions. So the first step is always you have to write the number of required fractions according to the number of factors in denominator. So what will you do? Suppose I have this yellow marker that is equal to. There are two factors in denominator, so you have to write two fractions over here. The first factor will be x plus 2 and the second factor will be x squared plus 3. Now you have to write the numerator. That is the linear factor, the first one, which is x plus 2. Its numerator will be a single constant, that is a. But you have the second denominator is a non-factorizable quadratic factor. You have two constant with a plus sign. It's your choice. You have to write either x with the b or x with the c. Now, in this case, just for your understanding, I put the c over here. The next step is you have to remove the denominators. The same step already you have done in type 1, type 2, and type 3. Now you have to solve the things. When this denominator you will multiply, you have to multiply with the numerators. So 3x minus 2 will remain as it is, equal to 8 times I will get x plus 2 into x squared plus 3 divided by x plus 2. Similarly, the denominator of the left-hand side, you have to multiply the second fraction. Second fraction is consisting of a numerator b as well as c. The denominator will not multiply only with the b, not multiply by only with the c. It will multiply by b plus cx. Multiply by this one, x plus 2 times x squared plus 3 divided by x squared plus 3. If all the denominators are cancelled out, this means your steps up to now are correct. X minus x plus 2 is cancelled by the x plus 2. And x squared plus 3 will cancel out x squared plus 3. After cancellation, you will get 3x minus 2 is equal to the 8 times x squared plus 3 plus b plus cx becomes x plus 2. So I will get that is equation which is out of this denominators. Without these denominators, so that equation is very important. The question will start after this step. Now, what will you do? You have to find the unknown constant, the numerator of the required fractions, one by one. First of all, you have to find the denominator. You have to find the unknown constant of the denominator, which is linear. So the first one A is over here. So if I want to find the value of A, I have to put its denominator equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0. I will get x is equal to the minus 2. Minus 2, you have to put in the whole equation. So 3 times minus 2. And minus 2 will remain as it is. 8 times minus 2 square plus 3 plus, when you place the minus 2 over here, you will get a b plus c times minus 2. And the last one is minus 2 plus 2. It's very simple mathematics. If you are finding the value of a, the a will remain as it is and all the other constant will be vanished. So minus 6 minus 2 is equal to the 8 times. The square of minus 2 becomes 4 and plus 3. This minus 2 and plus 2, I am highlighting the minus 2 and plus 2. This one, this is the highlighter. So I'm highlighting this one. That minus 2 plus 2 will become 0, and 0 multiplied by any fraction, you will get the answer 0. So plus 0 over here. Now what's the remaining terms you will get over here? Minus 8 becomes 7a. Ultimately, the value of a will be minus 8 by 7 if I am not wrong. So the value of a is minus 8 by 7. Now to find the other two unknowns, which are b and c, you have to open the brackets and you have to compare the coefficients. The coefficients comparison means in terms of x squared, you have to write the terms of x squared. The terms of x you have to write as it is, and the terms of constant will be equalized. No, I will make it short. So 3x minus 2 is equal to the ax square plus 3a plus bx plus 2b and plus cx square and plus 2cx. So you have to compare the coefficients. I will make it short because the time is very less than 1 minute. So you have to complete this question. And for the next type, I will rejoin the meeting. Just wait. Thank you, beta.